Thank you, Michael, and good evening, everyone. Welcome. Conventional wisdom holds that if we work hard, then we will be more successful. And if we're more successful, then we'll be happy. This is a well-defined formula for success that our society views as regular. We work hard, then we're more successful, and then we're happy. And I know we've all been there, with our head up in the clouds thinking, if I could just get that one job, that promotion, that salary increase, buy that first home, maybe lose those 5 pounds, I'll be happy. And for me, this has always translated into setting goals and working very hard to achieve those goals, which when achieved would mean I was successful, and then presumably I would be happy. So career-wise, first on my to-do list was to go to a top business school. Check. I went to the Schulich School of Business, got my business degree there. Next, I wanted to go to a top law school. Check. Went to Allard Law. And then after that, I wanted to get a summer articles position at a top national firm. Check. I got hired by Stikeman Elliott, where I proceeded to article and work for 5 years as a corporate securities lawyer. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. But through this all, I worked very hard, and indeed I was very successful, but I realized I wasn't happy. While I enjoyed the work that I did at Stikeman, I hated the unpredictable hours and that feeling that I was never in control of my destiny and was always on call. And while I enjoyed large deals, I always wonder what happened after. How did the integration go? Was the mining project pan out? So it was back to the drawing board, and I realized I needed to set some new goals. I would work hard, I'd achieve these goals, I'd be successful, and then I'd be happy again. So I decided I'm gonna become a spin instructor and move in-house before the end of the year. That was last year. And so, what happens next? Next, probably ironically enough, I was at a conference in Miami at a firm retreat, and I saw Sean Akers speak about his best-selling book, The Happiness Advantage. And according to Sean, who's a positive psychology expert, is that society has the formula all wrong. Happiness fuels success, and not the other way around. And the way Sean put it, that is, how can we be happy after success if the goalposts of success keep changing? And reflecting on my own path, I realized that indeed was very true. While I worked on my goals, I was indeed successful, but I wasn't happy. So in my mind, I was no longer successful, so I needed a new goal to become successful again and become happy again. But Sean made me realize I had the formula all wrong. If I just reversed it, and if I was happy, I would work that much harder, I would enjoy the work, and I would have greater success. And that's because when our brain is positive, we are more engaged, more motivated, we are more productive, we work that much harder, leading to greater success rates. It's really a no-brainer, it's just a little bit of a reversal. And in order to be happy, we have to be positive. And the same way that we work out our bodies, we gotta train our brain to be positive as well. And I used to always be a very positive person, but then I found myself recently to be more of a glass half empty kind of girl, especially when it came to white wine. As I look at it right now, right? As few of you are in my boat. And I realized while I was good at the work that I did, and I enjoyed it, it really took a toll on me. It took away from the things that matter most to me, like spending time with my husband, my family, my friends, traveling, having a regular exercise routine. And while I was successful at work, I simply wasn't happy, and I was getting demotivated, and I needed to be happy to remain successful. And so with this newfound positive outlook, in May of last year, I joined Mogo, a Vancouver-based fintech company that is trying to disrupt the banking world and build the next digital banking experience. And while it was an area of law I knew very little about, which was very scary, I figured I'd figure it out. What I was more excited about was this opportunity to work in such a collaborative and welcoming entrepreneurial setting with some pretty awesome people. All of a sudden, I was no longer the lawyer just advising a client on a transaction or giving ad hoc advice. I was part of the Mogo story. I had a seat at the table. My views mattered, and it was a pretty empowering feeling. I mean, I've never felt anything like it before. And I also realized that becoming a spin instructor, that wasn't a measure of success that was gonna make me happy. I was actually happy pursuing this additional crazy career path I decided out of the blue on. And that's what, that feeling I had being up on that podium was unlike anything I had experienced in years. And for me, that was truly the essence of happiness. But let me tell you, becoming a spin instructor, not an easy feat. Those check marks I had before wasn't happening here. And had I not, I decided to keep going because ultimately I was happy. So even though I wasn't successful in the moment, I was very driven to keep going, to keep working harder, and keep attaining that goal. Because to me, this is what happiness was, and I just needed a little bit more time. And so had I not shifted my mindset and reversed that formula for happiness and success, I probably would have given up. But instead, I kept going and going, and though it took me several months longer than it did other people, I finally made it and started teaching about a year ago, and haven't looked back since. And through that humbling training process, I realized that Spin Society was a very kind and inclusive kind of place where people were encouraged and applauded and rewarded for being the best versions of themselves. And it was a very happy and positive environment, and emotions are very contagious. So I decided earlier on that one of the characteristics I wanted to have was to be kind as an instructor and spread those positive vibes. I also rediscovered my love for hip-hop music, and I wanted people to feel that beat and the rhythm running through their bodies, not only when they were in class, but also when they left after. And my husband often laughs after he gets in the car after I'm in it and says he feels like he's 16 again because I've been pumping my beats. And so going back to Acre and his wisdom, he also said that when we are in control, when we feel like we are the masters of our fate, whether it's at work or at home, that is the key driver of well-being and performance. And I realized that's what I was missing when I was at Stikeman, that sense of control. And all of a sudden I regained it, being back with Mogo. All of a sudden, I have a flexible work schedule. I spend a good chunk of my time in Tofino, which is my happy place, with my dogs, my husband, my family, and my friends. And then 2 days a week, Tuesday and Thursday mornings, teaching in my other happy place, Spin Society. And I finally found this equal balance of happiness and success in my career. And as a testament to that, about 2 weeks ago, I was feeling pretty shitty and run down. I'd been sick, work was stressful, I had an early class to teach. And the minute I walked into that dark, candlelit room and felt the energy of the people and felt every beat drop, I knew things would be okay. And then that evening at work, it was a late night, a new coworker said to me, "You are the happiest lawyer I know." And I thought, mission accomplished. I got the formula right. Thank you very much.